Hi students, I hope you guys are all having a great week. Today I'm going to show you how to make a toucan in the style of Henri Rousseau. So here we go. Okay, the materials that you guys are going to need is a white piece of paper. I'm just using our sketchbook. You're going to need some watercolor paints, a brush, some water, and you also are going to need a black oil pastel. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to draw a toucan right in the middle of our page. And then you guys, another option is also to draw lightly in pencil and then trace that with your black oil pastel. And I think I'm going to start out with that. So what we're going to do first is when you look at a picture of a toucan, the most dominant feature is their big, big bill. So we're going to start out with that just right in the center of our drawing. Kind of has a hook type end. It's rounded. And then it just kind of comes up like that. There we go. And then next, his head kind of comes up from there. And then we're just going to have him kind of resting. And then you want to do a circle with some white on the inside with another circle around that. And that's his eye. And then they kind of have a white feature around their face and the rest is kind of a black color. And then on their beak, they have different types of colors. So with this little guy, we'll do something like that so that when I'm painting it, I can do some different colors. So then we're going to trace over the toucan with our black oil pastel. I just kind of put it on its side. All right, next what we want to do is with all of Henri Rousseau's paintings, they have a ton of leaves and things are hidden kind of behind leaves and things like that. So we're just going to add a lot of branches and leaves to this picture. And so for your leaf, just a basic leaf, you just bring two lines to a point. You want a little line down the middle. And then you also want some veins to come out from this leaf, just like that, okay? And you guys can do different types of leaves, whatever you think. There also should be some branches. And then he's going to be on a branch too. Okay guys, now that we've got everything drawn and outlined with our black oil pastel, we're going to go in with our eraser from our pencil. So for me, I just want to try and erase some of those lines without smudging too much, just because I kind of fixed some of the areas that I didn't like as much with my pencil. Okay. And be careful because it easily smudges, as you can see. All right, the next step is going to be to paint with watercolor. I really suggest that you do the bird first, and then you can do the backgrounds of all the jungle behind, so that you can really focus on the colors. Now, it's important to look at the color of a real toucan, so you can use some of those pretty colors when you are painting your toucan, because the most important thing is that beautiful, beautiful bill that they have and how it's so pretty with the bright colors, and then the rest of its body is black and white in contrast. So here we go with our painting. We're going to start out with getting some water on our brush and painting the tip of its beak. So I'm going to make sure that there's not a ton of water on my brush, and there's much more paint or pigment, because that's what's going to make the difference in the color. I also want to put some nice bright yellow. And then also with this yellow, this little part around its eye is yellow. And sometimes they can have like a little bit of green in it too. So I might put a little bit of a greenish yellow down below. And I'm also going to try and just leave a little bit of a white around so you can see it's the wing. All right, now I rinse my brush out and I'm going to go into the brown, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all of those branches and tree limbs right around the background. Now with watercolor, what's so cool is that you can get a texture just by using the water. So I had kind of a lighter brown, and then if you just want to add like some texture to your branches, you can just paint lightly with your brown and then go back through and just add a little bit of texture to it. I'll do it down here too to kind of show you. It's kind of a lighter brown wash with more water. And then I go directly into that brown. We're going to move it up a little bit so you can see. And then I'm just going to add some texture in here. There we go. All right, now we're going to go on to our leaves. And with our leaves, we want to try and paint it darker around the outside and use more of the water to fill in on the inside. It just gives it a nice look that helps make it pop. So, oh, you know what? That's a little bit too bright green for me. So I'm going to mix my colors. I'm going to, oops, I'll show you what I'm doing. So right here, I've got my palette. I hope you guys remember what I was teaching you before. I just use, just as a little paint palette, just the lid. It works so great. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the brown and put that in there. And that just kind of darkens up that green a little bit. I might even add a little bit more. Nah, I like it more of the green color. So this is more of a forest green versus like a neon green. So I'm gonna show you, oh yeah, that's much better. So I'm going to paint kind of around that leaf, that nice dark green color. I'm gonna move some things around so you guys can see better. There we go. Now we got it. And then I'm gonna do the same on this guy. Here's a nice little leaf in there too. So then I'm going to take some water and I'm going to just use that water to fill it in. There we go. And you just keep repeating. Sometimes you're gonna probably have to make up some more of that darker green color for your border. And then you just get some water on your brush and you just blend it all together. So I'm gonna have to make up some more of this green paint with some brown. A little bit more green. You just get it to where you like it. There we go. All right, this guy needs more of a border. There we go. Now you don't want to do all of your leaves and then do the water because they'll dry. You want to get them while they're still wet. That's looking good. Now, the last step that we're going to want to do is you're going to want to paint the background like a blue because we don't want that white to be shining through. So figure out a blue that you like. I'm going to mix this blue with just a dot or two of black and see how that works. Yeah, I think that's gonna look good because it'll be more of like a midnight blue instead of like a bright blue. So you guys see, ooh, now I made it a little too dark. There we go. And if you make it too dark, you can just step over into the next little pocket like that, like I did. Now I'm gonna want this nice and light, so I'm going to use a lot of water with this background. So because we're using so much water, this little spot of paint is going to be enough for our whole page. And you might want to do a different background color. Maybe you want this to be at sunset. Maybe you want it to be a bright sunny day behind it. Whatever you want to do, totally up to you. Okay. Oops. I think this should be brown down here. There we go. We've got our toucan right in the middle, and then we have all of those leaves and foliage surrounding it, filling our entire paper with color and with the subject. So great job, you guys. I hope you enjoyed making this toucan, and I hope you made it your own. And feel free just to add anything else to this picture that you think would make it look better and that would make it look more your own. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Take care.